Mixtapes and DVDs is my era.
Facts.
We did it better.
Yep.
Pelly leathers,
Facts.
ACG boots. We 80s babies and early 90s when it got grimy. I was out of this world, you could not find me unless you check the lobby. Hustling was my hobby. We was lobby boys before Jim Jones. You could catch me in Harlem eating Jimbos.
OTF Hellbound was good.
Okay,
stick in the move, smack right. You got me, huh?
Smack me.
Told you we gonna do it.
Now, Shay Davis is a rapper from the Bronx, New York, but moved to Rosedale, Queens with his aunt around the age 9 after his mom's and grandmother passed away. Not ever really knowing who his father was, Punch found himself in a lot of trouble at a young age. At age 13, he cut the face of a student he was fighting with. While being on the run for that particular incident, Shay Davis would be jumped, and in retaliation, Punch will cut one of the faces of the guys who jumped him and ended up being arrested for both of the cuttings and sentenced to 2 years in Lincoln Hall. Shay Davis would escape from Lincoln Hall by jumping over the barbed wire fence after having 4 additional months added to his bid. In 1994, Shay Davis will be arrested for a shootout with the police. Shay will fire a shotgun at an undercover officer in the subway, which led to 2 officers being shot by one another. Punch was also charged with shooting an old friend of his in the neck and ended up spending 6 years in prison for both of these crimes. Shortly after Shay Davis was released from doing 6 years in prison, he'll be arrested again for some much more serious charges, including robbery and murder, and was facing 30 years in jail. While he was incarcerated, Punch recorded a song over the phone and caught the air Smack White from Smack DVD. Smack will go visit Shay Davis while he was fighting his case and promised to link back up with Shay Davis when he was released from jail. Shay Davis ended up beating his case in trial and ended up coming home and killing the DVD scene.
Smack was good, you hear me? Told you we was gonna do it, nigga. Didn't I tell you so? Huh? Now I'm back in the hood, nigga, after being that motherfucking trial.
Now I want to give y'all some more details and information on certain things that I spoke on earlier in this video about Shay Davis. So let's get into it. Now, as far as the whole situation of Shay Davis cutting someone at the age of 13 while he was at school, basically he was in the lunchroom and he was sitting next to some guys that threw some food across the lunchroom. Now, whoever it hit walked over and they pointed to him. So him and the kid start fighting. The kid started to get the best of him, so he pulled out his knife and cut his face. Now, according to Shay Davis, the next face cutting he'll do will happen about 2 weeks later. Basically, him and his homeboy is out riding bikes. When a gang of guys approach them, he ends up getting jumped by them gang of guys. His friend runs and hides in the bushes. He go to his friend like, yo, you ain't just see me getting jumped. And then he finds out that the bikes were stolen, and that's why he was jumped. And supposedly, Shay will hook up with some older dudes he know and went back to confront the guys that jumped him. Now, when he seen one of the guys that jumped him, he was copping a plea. So Shay Davis said he got mad and just cut his face. Now, Punch would eventually be arrested for these cuttings, and he received 2 years for it. Last story I mentioned about Shay Davis being jumped because he was riding a bike that was stolen and his friend ain't let him know. Now, that same friend Shay Davis started rocking with after he came home from jail this time. Now, come to find out, this guy is a real grimy dude. Now, Shay Davis was rocking with this dude and getting money. And one of Shay Davis' friends basically let him know that homeboy was doing a lot of shiesty stuff. So, you know, Shay Davis cut him off and started getting money on his own. Now, that friend found out that Shay Davis was getting money on his own, and he got bitter behind it. So now he shows up to Shay Davis' house, and Shay Davis' step-uncle lets him in, not knowing that him and Shay Davis is now beefing. So he comes down into the basement, sees Shay Davis and his homeboy, and rob his homeboy for his chain. Now the next day, he lines Shay Davis to be robbed for his chain by some masked men. And prior to them robberies, that same friend came to Shay Davis' house and tried to fight him. And that's how the beef really started. So now at this point, Shay Davis feel like his old friend is just violating. So he spots his old friend dirt bike. They take the dirt bike and ride it back to his block. Now they use the bike as like bait. Being that they took his bike, they knew that he would meet up with them. Now the old friend pulls up to the block with an older dude, and Shay Davis said the older dude was speaking up for him. But soon as he seen his old friend, he pulled out and started shooting and hit his old friend in the neck. And according to Shay Davis, after he shot him in his neck, he told on him. Now in 1994, Shay Davis have a situation where he fired a shotgun at a police officer. So basically, he on the train with his homeboy. His homeboy got a 2-shot Dillinger, and he got a shotgun in his pants leg. Now supposedly the two are on the train, and they fall asleep, and they're about to miss their stop. Shay Davis wakes up out of sleep. He wakes his homeboy up, but he scare him a little, and he drop his gun. Now as he drop his gun, everybody on the train is staring at them. Now the two exit the train, and they're trying to get away. Now they're going down the escalator. Now according to Shay Davis, he says all the police officers took the steps that was by the escalator, ran to the bottom, and waited for them. Now his friend gets down the stairs before him, and he gets arrested. Now Shay Davis makes it to the end of the escalator. He gets to the bottom, and he sees his friends being arrested. He looks at his friend, but he keeps it moving. He hears somebody say to him, "Hey, you, come here." He looks back, and he keep it moving. Now this person begins to chase him. And according to Shay Davis, he says he didn't know it was an undercover cop. So he fired a shot at him from his shotgun. After he fired the shot at him, he tossed the shotgun on the platform and got on the train. Now after Shay Davis let off the shot, another cop from another car hears the shot go off. Now he comes into that car and see the undercover cop that was chasing Shay Davis with his gun out. Now I'm guessing when the cop came in the car and he seen the undercover cop with his gun out, he thought he was the one shooting, not knowing he's an undercover cop, and he was actually chasing after Shay Davis. So that cop seen the undercover cop with his gun out, and he fired at him. Now they both fired at each other, but the undercover cop who was originally chasing after Shay Davis, the one Shay Davis shot the shotgun at, he got the bad end of the stick in that shootout in exchange with the other police officer. Now eventually Shay Davis will be arrested on that same train for shooting at the police officer, and he also was charged for shooting his ex-friend in the neck. Now Shay Davis will do 6 years for both of these crimes before being released from prison around the year 2000. Now you can't mention the DVD era without mentioning Shay Davis. Shay Davis is very instrumental in the whole DVD era. After he came home and beat his trial, he hooked up with Smack, and he was on all the Smack DVDs. Now he had songs like Gun Go Blam and Pop Pop, which was my favorites. Now he wasn't the most lyrical guy on the DVD, but he definitely had a lot of character and charisma, and he actually went on to be kind of the face of Smack DVD along with Murder Mook. Now around this time in the DVD era, it was cool for you to have a group like 50 Cent had G-Unit, and his group was OTF with Q Life and Bonds. And, you know, he'll put them on DVDs with him from time to time. And it was a kind of dope situation. Now, after Shay Davis is on Smack numerous times, he created a buzz for himself. And he started to be on other hip-hop DVDs. You get what I'm saying? And he just displayed his charisma and his talent. And he became like a household name in the DVD era. Now, with my personal opinion, I feel like Shay Davis could have starred in some movies because he had the charisma. You get what I'm saying? The way he act, the way he talk. He could have definitely got some roles in some movies. So I wonder why that never happened. And also, I want to know why he never had a record deal, even with Koch, something like. I wonder why. He was on everything moving. He definitely was on the grind. And, you know, his music was kind of hard, but it was still kind of catchy and friendly, too. So I wonder why he never had a record deal. I want to know. Now, you know, like in 2008, Smack DVD started to move in a different direction. You know, they started all the Smack Tube, and they was moving towards battle rap a little. And Shay Davis wanted to keep his name valid, so he came out with the Blam DVD. And, you know, he had artists like Jim Jones on it, and he was moving with that as well. So now, those of you that's not familiar with Shay Davis, a.k.a. Punch, go Google his name or check his videos out on YouTube, and I'm sure y'all be entertained by him. Now, initially, Punch's problem with Lil Durk was him using OTF Only the Family. Shay Davis felt like he created OTF and Lil Durk took it from him. You get what I'm saying? He got to speak to OTF Chino and Lil Reese. They exchanged numbers and chopped it up. Then he got to speak to Lil Durk, and they exchanged numbers and chopped it up. And he let him know that he created OTF a while ago. And, you know, they supposed to did the Chicago OTF and New York OTF thing. And it never happened. So basically, Shay explained to Lil Durk that he created OTF. And when he created OTF and broke everything down to Lil Durk, And after this, Lil Durk did an interview with Sway, and he still was saying like it was created in Chicago, not acknowledging Shay Davis. So Shay Davis felt the way. Plus Shay Davis was locked in with JoJo Capone and other people from Chicago, and they used to tell him like, yo, you buzzing in Chicago. So he really felt like Lil Durk and them took his little OTF thing. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Punch's whole problem with French Montana simply came from the whole OTF situation. You get what I'm saying? At the time, French Montana was rocking with Lil Durk, and Lil Durk was supposed to be down with the Coke Boys. Now, I can agree with Shay Davis with this. His problem probably was like, come on, you know me. We was on the DVDs together. We came from the same little class of rappers. You get what I'm saying? And you know I rep OTF, but you just ignoring me because you're in a better position now, acting like you don't know what I put on the map. So I could get where Shay Davis felt the way at about French Montana. French Montana's rocking with him. And you know, Shay probably was reaching out to French. He probably wasn't responding, and he just letting Lil Durk run with his whole OTF thing. So I could understand why he'd be mad at French. You know, he told French we could fight each other in your projects and shoot the one-on-one and all that. So it was a really crazy time at this time. But anyway, this is just a story I wanted to share with y'all. I feel like Shay Davis had a crazy story, and he was very instrumental in the whole DVD era. But anyway, if you're a fan of these old hip-hop stories, tell a friend about my page. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. More content coming. I'm out. 1.